AT&T Stadium. It's the second game of the preseason. The Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, we have a rainstorm going on outside, and it's a good thing we're under the roof here. We had a rain delay, weather delay last week. We won't have one this week as the Miami Dolphins take the field here at AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas. The Dolphins victors over the Giants a week ago in the preseason opener. The Cowboys lost to the Los Angeles Rams. And welcome, everyone, to the second preseason game of 2016. Dick Stockton with our legends, Nat Moore and Bob Greasy, and our South Florida Chevy dealers' keys to the game. And now we're going to start with you with the defense. And the defensive linemen, none of them started or played last week. This week, Ndamukong Suh makes his first appearance, and Mario Williams' first appearance in a Dolphin uniform.
Well, Dick, I'm excited to see these guys go up against one of the best offensive lines in football with the Dallas Cowboys. When you look at Mario Williams, here's a guy that's averaged 9.6 sacks a year. He has four Pro Bowls to his credit, and he's a guy that if he can regain that stride, can really make this defense special. Bob, what are you looking at?
Well, I'm going to look at the offense, and I'm really excited about this offense. Ryan Tannehill's in his fifth year, and he's got some offensive linemen, which I think is going to be vastly improved this year. Wide receivers I like a lot, and I think he's got enough good running backs to get by. But Tannehill is the key for this whole thing. He's in his fifth year, and he should have a good year.
All right, Bob, a native son returns home tonight to the state where he first learned the game and later became a prospect worthy of NFL attention. As he prepares for this, his fifth season in the league, he does so knowing full well the responsibilities that accompany his position.
The quarterback. With rare exception, he is the face of almost every NFL franchise. Not since the days of Marino has Miami had one man occupy this critical position with the regularity displayed by Ryan Tannehill.
Fires, he's got Landry, touchdown Miami!
While more still is expected from the Dolphins' young field general, few in the history of this game have been as productive right from the start. But streaks and statistics do not make one elite. There is ultimately just a single metric by which all great quarterbacks are measured: winning.
I'm all about doing whatever I can to get wins.
The legacy of a Dolphin legend has long cast a shadow, the significance of which has been hard for his successors to emerge from under. Nearly 2 decades later, perhaps an heir is apparent, armed with the tools, talent, and tutelage that will allow him to realize his fullest potential. The evolution of Ryan Tannehill continues, as does the promise that a new legacy can emerge. Sponsored in part by your South Florida Honda dealers. Stop in now for great savings at the Honda Summer Clearance Event. By Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Duffy's Sports Grill. Sponsoring this broadcast in Spanish on SAP. By AutoNation. Make no payments for 90 days on any new car or truck. And by the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event. Get exceptional limited time offers on a Lincoln of your choice.
And tonight's weather report is presented by Ram, and we already showed you the rain outside, and the stadium roof is closed, and 77 degrees if you're outside, but we're inside where it's very comfortable, and it's always comfortable to send it down to Kim Bokamper.
All right, well, it is comfortable down here, Dick. I know not so comfortable for the Dolphins' offensive starters. Certainly last week they left that game, didn't play much, but they were disappointed. They were discouraged, and quite frankly, I believe they were embarrassed. They spent all week getting themselves prepared, and to a man, every coach I spoke to said their unit stepped it up, worked harder, and got better between last week and this week. They will get the extended opportunity to see if they can make it come into play when they kick the football off here. Offense wants to put points on the board. We get to see that first defense for the first time in there and see what they can do. It's going to be a big test for both, and no better place to do it in the building here against an offensive line against the Dallas Cowboys that may be the best in the National Football League. Guys?
All right, Bo, and tonight's game was presented in high definition courtesy of BrandSmart USA. And the Cowboys will get the ball first. To listen to tonight's game in Spanish, be sure to enable the secondary audio programming or SAP button on your viewing device. SAP services tonight brought to us courtesy of Duffy's Sports Grill. And we're underway. Andrew Franks kicking to Lucky Whitehead. and too far in the end zone to run it out. And so the Dallas Cowboys, a prolific offensive team, and there is Tony Romo playing in his first game in 267 days. Played only 4 games because of a fractured collarbone, but he's had an outstanding camp, and as he goes, so go the Cowboys in a wide open division. So he missed 12 with a broken collarbone. He's going to play briefly tonight. And a first down on the 20-yard line. So as Nat mentioned, Ndamukong Suh and Mario Williams on the defensive front for the Dolphins, and the handoff is to Alfred Morris, and Morris brings it out past the 30-yard line. Should be good enough for a first down, and a penalty marker down. Vance
holding,
Joseph.
number 70, offense.
And a holding penalty.
Still first down.
Is called against Zach Martin, the right guard. So a penalty nullifies a first down, and Des Bryant, he was hampered last year. Played in only 9 games with an injured foot. Breakout year the season before, and he and Romo want to get that chemistry going tonight as long as they are in there. So it'll be first down inside the 15, and this pass is going to be knocked away and almost picked off by Tony Lippett, the rangy safety, and another flag goes down. The referee tonight is Walt Anderson.
Pass interference, number 36, defense. First down at the spot of the
And it was
foul.
Lippett who's called for the penalty.
One thing is consistent about these preseason games is a lot of flags are flying, whether it be holding, whether it be personal foul, whether it be personal interference. Officials are throwing lots of flags.
First down and 10, and the handoff to Morris, former Redskin out of FAU, Florida Atlantic University, and Mario Williams makes the tackle. Rashad Jones, the Toyota defensive focus, and of course we mentioned the fact that Jones, who led the team in interception with 5 last year, also had a couple of sacks and wound up in the Pro Bowl. Darius Jackson has come in at running back, 6th-round draft choice for the Cowboys out of Eastern Michigan. It'll be second down and 6. Defense did a good job last week overall, only giving up that early touchdown. And here is Jackson going off the left side. He has a first down. Another flag is down. A slew of yellow flags in this first series, Mr. Moore.
Well, the receiver on the far side is going to get called for holding. You know, the Dolphins did a nice job of reading that play.
Holding, number 83, offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Yeah.
Terrence Williams.
You can't expect those wide receivers to block that.
Well, it's just a nice job. Everybody's where they need to be, and then Williams gets the hole. Matter of fact, there's 2 holes because the tackle comes out and he wraps him up.
So it'll be second down and 6. Jason Garrett in his 6th year, and the first former Cowboy player to become a Cowboy head coach, and an even keel personality. And not an easy place to be a head coach, to say the least. Second down and 16. Morris back in at running back, and the pass is thrown out to Cole Beasley, the slot man. He's tough, and Beasley gets knocked out of bounds, and Beasley will have enough for the first down. Isa Abdul Kudus, the former Lion, starting at safety.
And I think we've got another flag.
Holding, number 68, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
What we had
Still
about 7
down.
plays and 5 flags.
Right, that was the right tackle, Doug Free, who was holding on the play. So Walt Anderson is in midseason form, and his crew as well.
Yeah, let's go back and see if we can see the holding here. And there you see, he just actually grabs the little defensive.
Just a little hold.
Around the headgear.
Yeah. The problem is training camp, everybody holds in training camp. Everybody jumps off sides, and it's the officials have to call it.
Second down and 12. This is Groundhog Day. Every play is being run from right in that same area in this game. And there on the delay is Alfred Morris. And Morris brings it out to the 27-yard line. Gain of 7. Michael Thomas on the tackle, and that'll be third down. Thomas and Bobby McCain battling for what could be the nickel spot on in the secondary, covering either the slot or the X receiver. It'll be third down and long. Third down and 9. Romo gets some time, and this pass a little high off the hands of Morris, and fourth down. And Jakeem Grant, his electric performance last week against the Giants.
Just an outstanding young talent that has the quicks, has the ability to not only catch punts and kickoffs, but he's also a good receiver, a very exciting player that can make people miss. And Bob, once he makes a miss, he has the giddy up to make a play.
Chris Jones will kick. He returned 4 punts for 60 yards last week, catches this one on the 30-yard line, and Grant still on his feet, gets more, and a flag is down. Another penalty down. Normally that is an illegal blocker holding on the return team, but let's see what they call it as Grant gets it back to the 44-yard line.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 27, receiving team. 10-yard penalty, be first down Miami. Timeout.
So that's Shamil Gary after the 14-yard return nullified, but Grant looked good even on that one. Timeout, no score. Dolphins on offense. And back here in Dallas, and Laramie Tunsil, the #1 pick, is starting at left guard, and Jermon Bushrod, the former Bear, and Saint starting at the other guard, guys.
Yeah, just guys that have been fighting their fanny off to crack that starting lineup, and Coach Gase looked like he wanted to get a look at them tonight.
Starting from the 30-yard line. So newcomers and the #1 pick at left guard. 13th choice in the draft. Tannehill's first pass, and it's caught by Jordan Cameron, the tight end. Ryan Tannehill in his 5th year, and he says, we feel that urgency. It's time to go, and he wants to see that offense really blossom and show more, obviously, than they did a week ago. And so going to the tight end on first down, that's been a position that really needs to be shored up as far as production for the Dolphins. Pick up a 5. 2nd and 5. Ajayi starting at running back, breaks a tackle, and he picks up a couple of yards, bringing up third down. And also unable to play last week, held out for the hamstring pull, but playing tonight is Devontae Parker. Could be a breakout year for Parker, the #1 pick last year out of Louisville, held out against the Giants. And so Parker is in action, and as you mentioned earlier when we started, Arian Foster is in uniform, and he's in there right now. One of the best undrafted running backs you can remember. It'll be third down and 3. So Foster, the former Houston Texan. And here is Tannehill in trouble, and down he goes at the 32, and it was Tyrone Crawford, number 98, the defensive tackle, who was in there for the sack. And so it's 3 and out, and the Dolphins will have to kick.
Not a good start for the Miami Dolphins. Last week they were 3 and out. This week they got a positive play on first down, picking up 5 yards, and not able to convert on 3rd and short.
Lucky Whitehead will return, and Matt Darr, who boomed him last week against the Giants. Dolphins fell behind 10-0 early and then won 27-10. Punting from the 20. Sending Whitehead backpedaling inside his 15. And the Dolphins are there. Brings it out to about the 28-yard line, and it was Mike Hull, who's had a terrific camp and a good first game, making the tackle on special teams. No score, first quarter. Dallas ball when we get back. Cowboys will start from the 28-yard line. scoreless game, and so the Dolphins were 3 and out. Remember, they were 7 plays and 2 punts in last week's opener. Tony Romo in for the second series. Jason Witten in motion. Play action. Romo has time, and the pass is caught short of midfield. Des Bryant makes the catch, covered by Byron Maxwell, who suffered some tightness last week and did not play against the Giants.
Here's another look at it. Good push up the field. Byron is coming from inside out, and you know, he's looking for help from the safety because you're in a zone defense.
So the ball now at the 46, an 18-yard pickup on that pass, and it'll be 1st and 10. So Romo and Des Bryant, familiar combination. Handoff to Alfred Morris, former FAU star, and he dives into Dolphin territory before Jelani Jenkins brings him down, and a short gain.
Dolphin defensive line. They've got a new defense this year. They call it a wide 9. The defensive ends are way wide, and the linebackers are stacked inside. Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator, with new terminology.
And the idea with the wide 9 is getting upfield, setting the edges, and forcing everything back to the linebackers.
2nd down and 6. Michael Thomas is in as the nickel back, number 31 for the Dolphins. Romo again has time, and he completes it to Witten for a 1st down inside the Dolphin 40, where Kiko Alonso downfield covering, and a gain of 12.
Jason Witten is the all-time leading receiver in catches and yardage. I think he goes past Michael Irvin here, or has a chance to go past Michael Irvin in yardage this year.
Now he has 1,000 career receptions. He's definitely a future Hall of Famer in a lot of people's books. Led the team with 77 catches a year ago. And a 1st down. Here is Morris breaking it. Alfred Morris, a tough runner, and gets another 1st down. FAU's pride, and the former Redskin picking up the 1st down.
Dolphins get caught in a corner blitz, and as the defensive end goes inside the corner, coming off the slot position, opens up a big gap that time.
13-yard pickup, and of course the question for the Dolphins always be the run defense. Was there any doubt about what that line can do with the linebackers to stop the run? First down at the 28, and another completion to Witten, and another 1st down. Witten with a 1st down to the 15. Jenkins missed a tackle this time.
Hey guys, right now that offensive line for the Dallas Cowboys are having their way. I mean, Romo is sitting back there with plenty of time to scan the field to make the right decision. There's no pressure whatsoever in the pocket, and he's just able to get rid of the football before the rush finally gets there.
The defender was right next to Witten, but because he had so much time and could see very well, he still completed the pass.
Sue is on the sideline. By the way, 3 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line for the Cowboys, and a 1st down at the 15. And they go to Morris again, and Morris pushing the pile, darts outside, and will score a touchdown. Alfred Morris. This is a team that has Darren McFadden, and let's not forget Ezekiel Elliott, their #1 draft choice from Ohio State. But Morris, impressive, as the Cowboys running get a touchdown on their 2nd possession to take the lead. 15-yard scores.
And guys, this is exactly what Dallas did last week versus the Rams. They actually scored on the opening kickoff with, and then on a kickoff return by Whitehead, and then they got the ball and they marched it down. Just good mixture of run and pass, and good protection in the pocket.
Dan Bailey on for the extra point, and we have what looks to be a false start penalty against Dallas. We'll check Walt Anderson. Now, if they're discussing it, we can't be sure of it.
False start, number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, try from the 20-yard line.
Travis Frederick, who's one of those 3 Pro Bowlers along with Tyron Smith and Zach Martin for the Cowboys offensive line a year ago. So 5 yards longer for Dan Bailey, and this kick is good. And the Cowboys, sparked by Alfred Morris, scores from 15 yards out to give the Dallas Cowboys the early lead, 7-0 over the Dolphins. 2016 home schedule includes playoff opponents like the Steelers and Patriots and all of the AFC East Division rivals. So don't miss your chance to check out a new team in the newly renovated and renamed Hard Rock Stadium. Boy, that has a ring to it. So to secure your seats, log on to Dolphins.com. So Jakeem Grant in the end zone, and you mentioned last week that he had not returned punts since high school, but you know, you don't get many kick returns in this league with the new rules here, so it's going to be punt return for Grant for the most part, and this one is going to be run out from 8 yards in the end zone. Here's Grant. Look at Grant's speed as he brings it out close to the 25-yard line. He had 2 kickoffs for 53 yards last week, and he did a good job with 4 catches as well as a receiver. 7-0 Cowboys lead. Now you got to see this first-team offense do something sooner or later.
Well, you know, it's a second straight week where they get a slow start, 3 and out, and you know you've got to get Ryan and this offensive going because you know they only go play 1 more game. They probably will not play at all the 4th game of the preseason.
Play action, deep pass, and it is caught by Kenny Stills. So after all of the talk of 10 yards and in and not having the quarterback wait to go the long pass, they go to Kenny Stills for a long play of 55 yards.
I asked Ryan in our meeting yesterday, I said, when are you going to get outside the pocket? Are you saving that stuff for the regular season? He says, no, we got one for tomorrow. We'll show you.
And a first down at the 20-yard line. Stills beat his man handily. Here's Arian Foster trying to go outside, and Foster is going to be tackled by J.J. Wilcox, and Morris Claiborne, the cornerback, did a good job of pursuing there, and a loss.
Arian Foster out last year, all of last year, with an Achilles injury, had surgery. This is the first game that he's playing. He was with the Houston Texans last year.
Second down and 14. 3 years, had 1,000 yards or more rushing for the Texans, 54 career touchdowns. But coming off the Achilles injury suffered against the Dolphins in week 4. Here's Tannehill. He's got the time, and he completes it to Landry, and Jarvis Landry gets inside the 20. And a gain of 7. Let's go back to the big 55-yarder here.
And this is just Ryan Tannehill using his athleticism. Good play action fake, gets outside the pocket, and Bob, he knows he has his receiver open. He throws it on the run rather than stopping, setting. Yep. He's open, let's get it to him. Nice job by Ryan.
I like that, outside the pocket.
3rd down and 8. From the 16-yard line. Tannehill under pressure, steps up, it's tipped, and it's caught by Landry inside the 5.
The old tip drill.
Don't give up the first down and go the wrong way, guys.
Watch it.
Flag is down, and tempers flare. This is the last thing you want to see here as Anthony Hitchens, the middle linebacker, in the middle of several of the Dolphins. Penalty flag thrown. So the pass was deflected and then caught by Landry inside the 5. It'll be a first down.
You got 2 flags down. It was a first down, and then the flags came out. You know, the players do realize that this is a preseason game. Whether or not they would fly off the handle and start pushing and shoving if this were a regular game, Ned, I don't know.
You've got to keep your composure. That's one of the things as a coach you want to look at. Do you have a group of young men that can maintain their composure in difficult situations? And you've got to be able to do that. Here's another look at the play. Nice job by Ryan there, Bob, of stepping up, moving around in the pocket to create a space to get the ball downfield. And
here's the call.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 59, defense. That penalty is declined. After the play, personal foul, face mask, number 59, defense. That penalty is accepted, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So Anthony Hitchens with 2 penalties, and Morris Claiborne got a hand on it first. Here is the play, and look at Hitchens come in unnecessarily after the play, and Kenny Stills protecting his fellow wide receiver.
Well, that's been one of the themes this year with the Dolphins, is that they stand up for each other. They enjoy playing together. They like each other. They help each other. And it's good to see Kenny come in there and defend Jarvis Landry like that.
It'll be first and goal. Of course, you don't want to get hurt in defending guys.
And let me just go back to the play. The protection was really good.
Yes, and that's 2 plays in a row.
Look at this.
Trips on the right, 3 wide receivers. First down and goal from the 4-yard line, and the slant, and the pass is incomplete. It was Jordan Cameron
Ruling on the field
who had it.
It's an incomplete
and
pass.
There will, of course,
second down.
It'll be second down and goal at the 4. Jones defending, but it looked like Cameron could have hung on to the ball.
Yeah, you got to make this play. You got receivers the other way. You got single coverage. The ball is right there. If you're a professional, you got to catch the ball.
So it's second and goal at the 4. And they go to Arian Foster, and Foster is going to lose a couple of yards. Good defense up the middle by the Dallas Cowboys.
That first down play may have been your best chance to score on this drive.
Here's that play to Cameron again, guys.
You get the play called, the protection is there, the throw is there, make the catch.
Empty backfield, Arian Foster is lined up to the right. So the running back to the right. It'll be third down and goal from the 6. They spread it out for Tannehill. Tannehill drills it, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Jarvis Landry, and defensed well by the Cowboys. And you're right, Bob. It was Scandrick, the veteran, who was covering on the play, but you're right. The first down's the best chance.
Well, here's another look at this play to Jarvis Landry, and you get what you want. You know, this is one that Jarvis will tell you himself, Bob, I normally make that play. I've got to make that play. I got to help my quarterback.
They're going to go for it on 4th down now. 4th down and goal. Adam Gase sends in the play. And now Foster is back next to Tannehill in the backfield. They tighten the formation somewhat. Tannehill on 4th down and goal. And the pass incomplete. Stills, the intended receiver, in the back of the end zone and defended by J.J. Wilcox. So the Cowboys holding downs after the big play could have set up a Dolphins score.
But guys, you got to give that offensive line credit. They got down inside the 5-yard line. They did their job of giving Ryan plenty of time to scan the field and get the ball out.
And the first-round draft pick, Laramie Tunsil, was in there at left guard, and Bushrod was there at right guard.
And you know what? You may not see them move out of those spots on September 11th. A near miss for the Dolphins and a new quarterback, Dak Prescott, the story of last week for the Cowboys. Even in defeat, the 4th-round pick from Mississippi State having a great game out of the end zone, and he completes the pass, knocked out of bounds to Jeff Swain, the backup tight end, and Isa Abdul-Quddus pushes him out of bounds after a gain of 22.
Well, offensive coordinator Scott Linehan says, if you do it to me, I can do it to you, as he brings Prescott out on the same identical role, but they get the ball to the tight end, getting it out of his hands in a hurry.
Yeah, that was a great call. Get the fake the run, get your quarterback outside the pocket, option run and pass. Good call.
Prescott 10 of 12, played the first half last week against the Rams, and the Cowboys had a 24-7 lead at one point and lost 28-24. And Alfred Morris for the first time gets knocked back, and Ndamukong Suh a presence there. Mentoring Matters is CBS 4, and this is a mentoring game changer, a program so unique. CBS 4 anchor Rudabeh Shabazi went to California to find out how it works. Don't miss a special edition of CBS 4's Mentoring Matters, Sunday at 6:30 only on CBS 4. Bobby McCain is in as the 5th back. Rashad Jones is out and replaced by Michael Thomas as a starter. 2nd down and 10. Morris breaks a tackle, and Morris with a huge gain. He scored a 15-yard touchdown on the second series for Dallas, and a big gain for Morris brings it out to the 46-yard line and a first down.
This time Morris is able to break the tackle of Mario Williams. He sees this play, he goes down and he just shakes him off. Just not a good effort that time by Mario Williams.
Yeah, and Williams was unblocked, and Ndamukong Suh had the gap inside, and Williams has got to make that play.
20-yard gain. So right near midfield of the Cowboys again with under a minute remaining in the first quarter. Prescott, he has a lot of time, and Prescott completes the pass for the first down to Terrence Williams. And Williams into Dolphin territory to the 42-yard line. Had all day to throw. There's Romo on the sideline. Gain of 13 here.
What a difference a week made. Last week we saw that defense bring pressure on the quarterback. They forced turnovers. Today, Prescott's able to sit back, scan the field, and find the open receiver.
He threw a touchdown pass to Williams last week, 1 of 2 scores against the Rams. So it'll be a 1st and 10 at the 41 of Dallas. Morris stopped for the 2nd time. Michael Thomas is there, but Morris has been able to run free so far in this first quarter. And that will do it as time runs out. That is the end of the first quarter here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, with the Cowboys leading the Dolphins 7-0.
Dolphins preseason football on CBS 4 is sponsored in part by Chrysler. Enjoy your summer in style with great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance Event. By Mercantile Commerce Bank, empowering your world. And by Mercedes-Benz.
Fans, an entertaining and informative new content series including Dolphins Daily, The Audible, and The Grind are all available on Facebook, Twitter, and Dolphins.com. Log on and stay connected. Start of the second quarter, Dak Prescott with a crossing pattern to Cole Beasley. And Beasley gets a first down at the 27-yard line before Tony Lippett brings him down. Andre Branch and Terrence Fede are in the game at end. And Chris Jones, along with Jordan Phillips, are in and tackles up front.
Dolphins had a blitz on that play. The inside linebackers coming in, and the quarterback saw it, got rid of it.
Gain of 15. First down at the 28. Here's Prescott. Gets some time off his back foot, and the pass is going to be caught for the touchdown to Des Bryant.
Guys, this is just an unbelievable catch by Des Bryant, because Byron Maxwell, once he's beat, really turns on the afterburners to try and get back into the play. And this ball is thrown perfectly outside. Here's another picture of it. And just a great job of catching the football, turning around, and getting both feet in.
This game is not that easy. Dak Prescott is a rookie quarterback. Where's he at? Mississippi State?
Yes, 4th round.
4th round pick. Making this look all too easy.
28-yard play. And the big body of Des Bryant. Good target for Prescott, who's had good time. Here's Dan Bailey with the extra point, and the Cowboys early here in the second quarter have extended their lead to 14-0 over the Dolphins.
Here's another look at it. Prescott sitting back there. Good protection. Throws this ball high and outside. Great adjustment by Des Bryant for the touchdown.
Trivia question brought to you by Toyota. The question: running back Arian Foster rushed for a Texans record 6,472 yards, second highest total for an undrafted player. Who holds the record? You can play along with us by sending in your answers to the hashtag FinsOn4. Well, in that last drive, the defensive line were backups, but all the DBs were the starters for the Dolphins. As Matt Weil, undrafted rookie from Michigan, kicking off, and Jakeem Grant will down it in the end zone. So the Dolphins will start from the 20-yard line. Big play for the Dolphins, the 55-yard pass to Stills, but then they had first and goal at the 4 and could not score.
That was a key turnaround in this game so early. The Dolphins not getting it in from the 5, and then the Cowboys take over on the 5-yard line and go 95 yards with 2 good passes by the young rookie quarterback, Prescott.
And of course, the new rule is the fact that the touchback brings it out to the 25, not the 20, as I said, which has been discussed by kickers and coaches as to whether that might backfire in an attempt to keep injuries down. Hand off to Jay Ajayi, and no gain on the play. Josh Thomas on the tackle.
Not able to get any movement at the line of scrimmage. It's hard to run the football without getting a push from your offensive line.
Second down and 10. Swings it out to Landry, makes a one-handed catch and gets the first down. Good catch by Landry in stride, and he has a first down for the Dolphins at the 36.
And good blocking out front by the 2 wide receivers, doing a nice job. Kenny Stills as well as Devontae Parker of allowing Landry to catch the football with nobody hitting him.
There you go. That's Adam Gase, the head coach, talking to Tannehill in the helmet.
Ajayi cutting up the middle and does a good job of moving the pile for several yards. Ajayi was born in London to Nigerian parents, moved to Maryland, and then moved to Texas. So he's back in a state that he's familiar with.
Mike Pounce is a little slow getting up, guys. All-pro center. But you can't get him hurt. I mean, that would be devastation to lose Mike Pouncey in a preseason game.
Anthony Steen has already gone into the game, and Pouncey is coming off. So we did not have any serious injury by any stretch last week against the Giants, and now Pouncey comes out early here in the second.
There you see he's blocking the nose tackle, and just as he goes down, someone falls on him.
Looked like he was pushing off.
Uh-huh.
Like, and he's...
Three-time Pro Bowler on the sideline, but so many of these injuries are incidental injuries because of people landing funny or landing on a teammate. There's Ajayi. Split out to the right. Tannehill going left, and the pass is incomplete. Landry gets hit that time by Byron Jones, the free safety. Pass is incomplete, and it'll now be 3rd down and 8.
Byron Jones, a #1 pick last year for the Cowboys at that free safety, is really starting to come into his own. Recognize that play in a hurry and then really attack the football.
So there's a chance for the Dolphins with the 3rd down and 8. Getting hit is Tannehill, and the pass is caught, and it should be first down with forward progress to Devontae Parker. Tannehill really got hit in the midsection, and a flag is down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 99 defense. High contact to the quarterback.
Yeah, Ryan Russell.
15-yard penalty, first down.
That was a hard hit and a first down, and he did complete the pass.
He said high contact. didn't get him for hitting the quarterback, just hitting him high.
But a nice job by Ryan of hanging in there. Brandon Albert gets beat right away.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan knows he's going to get hit, but he delivers the football.
The helmet to helmet.
Yes.
Right under the chin. This is what they call it. You can hear that from way up here.
Parker had made the catch, and here is Ajayi. Ajayi getting to the 30-yard line, and another penalty flag down. And another one after that. Two flags down.
Look like Jarvis Landry is really mixing it up with the corner or safety that's over him. You know, defensive backs don't like to be blocked.
Could be a late hit.
They get a little upset about that.
I think there's a late hit here for one of them.
You know, guys, one of the things that Coach Jefferson really talks about is blocking. You can see the blocking still going on, and that's
After the
called.
play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 69, defense. That penalty is declined. Also after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 26, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
They're going to take Josh
That's
Thomas's
number 26.
penalty.
His first unsportsmanlike conduct that could lead to disqualification.
Two and you're disqualified.
Yep.
Two in the same game and you're disqualified.
So I get to punch you once. I just can't punch you a second
That's right.
time.
How about
I just want to understand what the rule is.
Okay, but meanwhile, roughing the passer first, and then you have unsportsmanlike conduct second. And this is a rough Dallas Cowboys outfit just coming in last night from Oxnard, California. The training camp ended, as did the Dolphins camp ended.
All right, guys, second time down inside the red zone. Let's see if the Dolphins can get it in. This is where they struggled at last year.
And last series, they had first and goal at the 4 and went for it on fourth down and came up empty. So the ball on the 15. Here's Tannehill and tried to get it. It was deflected to Jay Ajayi, and Cedric Thornton of the Cowboys got a hand on it.
Receivers, three receivers to the right side, and Ajayi was trying to sneak out of the backfield. Ball is just deflected. Ajayi was a little bit open.
Meanwhile, good news. Mike Pouncey's back in the game at center.
That is great news. Not good news, great news.
Second down and 10 from the 14. Ajayi can't break the tackle of Jack Crawford, and if he had, he might have gone in, but it'll be third down.
Yeah, he tried to come out the back door, but not able to break the arm tackle. And you know, you're just looking for any light, looking for a crease.
Coach Gase calling the play. Quarterbacks have receivers in their helmets. He could talk right into his helmet.
So now it's third down and 10. 14-0, the Cowboys lead. Still early in the second quarter. Tannehill drills it, and it is caught for the touchdown by Kenny Stills. Stills with a touchdown, and first it was the 55-yarder on the series in which they didn't score. He makes this grab, 14-yard touchdown, and the Cowboys lead has been narrowed. So a big score. That's going to feel good for the offense.
Well, not only good for the offense, but for Kenny Stills. You know, he's been working his fanny off this year. Came in, stayed around the whole offseason. He has that cohesiveness now with Ryan Tannehill. Knows where Ryan wants him. Good throw, good catch.
And it was a good route, well-designed play, and a lot of protection by the offensive line.
And Andrew Franks looking to cut the Cowboy lead in half. And he does, and it's now 14-7. Cowboys lead. So a 10-yard touchdown pass to Kenny Stills. Good receiving core this team has.
Going to go down the field. The other receivers are going to break inside and out. Stills going, fakes to the going corner, and then comes back to the inside. That I hadn't seen that route run.
Yeah, that's one of the new routes that Coach Gase put in, where you push like you're going to the corner and come back, get you a lot of separation from the safety, and it creates a big space for the touchdown throw.
I like that route. Okay, 3 guys, one on the inside, one on the outside, clearing it out.
Touchback, and the Cowboys will go to the 20-yard line. And of course, the Dolphins were helped by a couple of big penalties against the Cowboys, especially on a 3rd and long. Chief meteorologist Craig Setzer and meteorologist Lisette Gonzalez. Weather morning and weeknights only on CBS 4, your official home of the Miami Dolphins. First down on the 25 for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. 14-7 the score now. Dallas in front. And movement in the line, and a penalty. Terrence Fadday, the defensive end.
Neutral zone infraction, number 78, defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Spencer Pasinger, James Michael Johnson, and Neville Hewitt are the linebackers in there. McCain and Lippett are the corners. Caduce and Akins the safeties. 1st and 5 from the 30. Here's Morris, yard or 2.
You know, guys, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they're one of the few teams that still run a double set in the backfield where they've got a true fullback, which means they've got a designated blocker that really helps that running game. That's why they're so efficient. They got a great offensive line, but they got a fantastic lead blocker that helps the running game.
And they look forward to Ezekiel Elliott, the number 1 pick from Ohio State. Not had a full practice, strained hamstring, as to why he's on the sideline. 2nd down and 7. Prescott has time, completes the pass to Bryce Butler, and Butler tackled by James Michael Johnson, and a flag down.
The flag came from deep in the secondary.
Illegal hands to the face, number 97, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, completed pass, first down.
Jordan Phillips, hands to the face, but they'll decline it. They had the first down here. $17-yard play.
I tell you, you go back and you look like his hands is on the shoulder pass the whole time.
Or his throat, or right in the...
And a first down. And the running play to Alfred Morris. Morris close to midfield, and Caduce makes the tackle after a 4-yard pickup. Vance Joseph. Team forced 4 turnovers last week against the Giants. Outstanding work for the DBs for the Cincinnati Bengals the last couple of years.
They work on that in practice too, stripping the ball, fumbles, interceptions.
2nd down and 5. Fake to Morris. Prescott getting a rush this time, and the pass is intercepted by Isa Abdul Caduce, and the former Lions safety with an interception.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 50, defense. Late hit to the quarterback.
Well,
15-yard penalty, first down.
So Phillips committed a foul, and then Andre Branch roughing the passer after the interception nullifies the pick. They hurt.
Yeah, that's taking a turnover off the board, and this is just 2-3 seconds late. As far as, you know, usually if you can take 2 steps, you should be able to pull off.
You know, it's tough to play defense. I mean, you have to be ready. If he lets go of the ball, you got to be ready to pull back.
So it'll be a first down in Dolphin territory.
All right.
Was it McClain last week negated a turnover? And
Please
now,
reset the game clock to 8:49. The result of the previous play on the field was an interception. By rule, the game clock will start on the snap.
And by the way, Andre Branch taken out of the game, and Chris McCain replaces him.
Well, those guys are battling for that 4th and 5th defensive end position. So, critical mistake once again this week.
First down on the 36 of the Dolphins. And here is Morris cutting to the outside. Morris with a first down and knocked out of bounds by Caduce. And a good gain that time of 18.
Guys, you want to be aggressive, but you've got to take care of your responsibility. You want to be a part of everything. That play should have never happened because the quarterback has outside containment. He's got to stay outside. He can't go and try and make the play that the linebacker's going to make.
Just do your job. Fill your gap, fill your hole, and make the play.
First down at the 20. They'll run it again, flag down. Morris inside the 10, 5-yard line, will go in for the touchdown. But as you saw, there was a penalty flag thrown early on the handoff to Alfred Morris. I guess it's good for these officials to be calling penalties. I don't know how entertaining it is, but is it good for the players?
Illegal formation, number 79, offense.
We'll take that one.
Was not lined up on the line of scrimmage.
Chaz Green.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
So both teams have had good plays nullified because of penalties.
Yeah, this happens every year.
Right,
Every year, you go to camp, you're not as sharp as you are. You go into these preseason games, you hold, you hit guys late. It happens every year.
And they've been actually penalties that deserve to be called, most we've seen.
Yeah, you're right.
Nullifies a 20-yard touchdown. Cowboys 8 penalties. The Dolphins have 4. So now first down and 15. From the 25, Prescott going to run it for the first time and slides at the 18. Gain of 7 that time.
Yeah, that's one of the attributes of Dak Prescott is, he was an option type quarterback at Mississippi State, so he doesn't have a problem with pulling it down and getting out of the pocket. So, had 2 big runs last week against the Rams.
A little ink on those arms. You got a quarterback. The quarterbacks don't have ink. Come on.
Second down and 9. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up, and the pass, flag down.
Offensive.
And it looks like Bryce Butler might have pushed off.
Yeah.
Tony Lippin was covering.
Here's another look. And once again, this is where you've got to know it's going to be a back shoulder. He's not trying to get open.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
The fans here in Dallas don't like the call, but it's the right call. Just like a defender cannot use his arm to push off, neither can a receiver.
Jason Garrett doesn't see it that way. Telling the field judge the way he saw it.
you would
what
think
a surprise.
He'd be a little biased with
what
him.
a surprise, right? So now it'll be second down and 19. Ball pushed back to the 28, and there's a screen pass to Gavin Escobar, and the Dolphins are quick to stop him at the 20 thanks to Andre Branch.
But a great job by Michael Thomas of slowing this thing down, allowing Branch to come from his pass rush and catch it from behind.
Picked up 9.
So Michael Thomas is battling for a safety spot. Watch number 31 in your screen. The screen is set up perfect. Now watch him just hold everything off, okay? And that allowed Branch to come from the backside and make the play.
So now third down and 10. See if the Dolphins can get a stop here. They put pressure on Prescott. And now Prescott taking off, directing traffic, and now he'll run it, and Prescott will score. He got outside and found a lane, and the Cowboys have another touchdown.
When you go man, guys, you got to get there when you bring that pressure, because when you get an athletic quarterback like Prescott that gets outside containment with everybody turning it with their backs to the quarterback, there's no one there to make the play.
20-yard touchdown run. Dan Bailey is on. And it's 21-7. Cowboys in front. 6.5 to go in the first half. He can do it with his feet as well. Good-looking rookie. Stay with CBS 4 at halftime. Elliot Rodriguez and Rudabeh Shabazi anchor our coverage back in the CBS 4 news studios in Miami. They'll have the latest news and weather. And don't miss part 4 of our 4 More on the Fins feature on Ryan Tannehill, who earlier this June held a very special ceremony for the high school seniors in his Tannehill Aces Foundation. Kick goes out of the end zone, and so Ryan Tannehill will come out again. And that's exactly what Adam Gase wants. Forget about 1 series, 2 series. He's in there.
Yeah, he wants to get them some work. I mean, with the new rules and changes of the way practices ran because of the bargaining agreement, this is the only time you can get this good physical work that's necessary to be ready for the opening of the season.
This is his 4th possession.
Yes, right. And all of the offensive starters are in there right now. Starting from the 20-yard line. Jay Ajayi is the running back. Empty backfield. Tannehill goes to Ajayi off the right side, turns the corner, and a good gain on first down, getting about 6-7 yards or so.
Guys, along that offensive line now, you've got Dallas Thomas and Billy Turner at the 2 guard positions.
Well, Tunsil and Bushrod started the game, but Thomas and Turner have been the 2 guards. Brandon Albert is the left tackle, Mike Pouncey in his center, and Juwan James is the right tackle. 2nd and 4.
Saw Tannehill checking off on that last play.
Jarvis Landry to the right. Tannehill going short to Deion Sims. He gets the first down to the 40. 2nd reception by a tight end tonight for the Dolphins, and he gets 8 yards.
Deion Sims is thought of as the blocking tight end, but he's had a great camp. He's really coming into his own and running routes and catching the football.
Most consistent at that position, according to Adam Gase. First down. They get to the line fast, not in a hurry to call the play, but they got to the line. Fake the handoff, and there is the pass to Devontae Parker, and Parker on the inside screen picks up some yards and gets to the 45.
Offense after that long drive, guys, are starting to get a rhythm where they're coming out, moving the ball. Everything's happening quick. Ball's coming out of Ryan's hands in a hurry.
Looks that way. It'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 45. Landry is playing the slot to the right. Pressure up the middle. Tannehill has the time, and this pass to Parker is incomplete, and coverage by Brandon Carr for Dallas.
Trying to throw it out route on the short side of the field.
Good coverage that time by Carr.
It'll be 3rd down and 5. So the Dolphins getting to the line and setting fast, but in no hurry to run the play. Jay Ajayi to the top of your screen as a receiver to the left. Tannehill's pass, and it is caught by Jarvis Landry, and that'll be a first down. Landry on an underneath pattern. So a third down pass by Tannehill successful.
Excellent pick of a blitz by the offensive line as the safety comes on a blitz, and nice timing, good throw by Ryan, and nice catch by Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, it's Landry being covered by a linebacker because of the blitz. Landry actually has an option to go in or out.
7-yard gain and a keeper by Tannehill, and he slides just short of first down yardage at the 40. Well-designed play there, and Tannehill had open spaces in front of him.
Guys, I can tell you this here, as well as I know Ryan, if this was the regular season one-on-one, he'd have tried to fake him out. He wouldn't have slid like he did.
And then getting to the 30-yard line, Tannehill again. Who needs running backs and receivers? Is this single wing time, Bob Greasy?
Let's hope not.
Isaiah Peed, who had a solid game, 50 yards on 10 carries against the Giants. Number 22 is now the tailback on first down. From the Dallas 33, Tannehill looking deep. Now has to go another way, and it's a good way. Completes it to Peed. The running back stays in bounds. Isaiah Peed knocked out of bounds inside the 5, but the official's hat is off. So it's possible that Peed might have gone out of bounds first.
Well, I don't know what happened with Peed, but a great job by the offensive line. You know, we've been killing those guys. Look at the time that Ryan Tannehill had to complete this ball. Just an outstanding job off O-line.
I don't think he went out of bounds.
I don't either.
Can't be the first one to touch the ball, so it'll be first and goal at the 3. Tannehill up the middle and incomplete. Parker was covered by Josh Thomas. Second and goal coming up.
Bob, they didn't complete this pass, but a heads-up play by Ryan Tannehill where he threw the football, giving his receiver a chance to catch the ball without throwing it into traffic where it can be picked up.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time, Nat, inside the 20, inside the 10, offensively trying to get the ball in the end zone.
Peed's catch and run for 18 yards, setting it up, and that's Ajayi who had something to say to Tannehill on second and goal. He's the setback. They fake it to him, and there's Tannehill being flushed away, backpedaling, and throws, and nearly caught, but it's incomplete. Landry defended in the end zone by Jeremiah McKinnon, so that'll bring up another third and goal. It started at the 3, guys.
This is where it's tough to get it in. The defense is able to use both sidelines and the end line as extra defenders. And this is just one that, once again, Jarvis just did not
he could have made
the play.
Yeah, he could have caught that ball.
This is an outstanding throw by Ryan Tannehill on the move.
So now third and goal from the 3. I think, well, you know they're going to go for it on fourth down if they don't make it here, but maybe they'll make it here. Third down and 3. There's a fade pattern, and it is caught by the touchdown to Kenny Stills. Stills loses his helmet, makes a terrific catch on third and goal from the 3, and the Dolphins climb back again.
Good protection, but what a throw by Ryan Tannehill there.
And a nice call by Adam Gase. You know, he's got all this stuff down inside the 10. They got like 15 or 20 plays, and he keeps pulling them out.
Boy, they're determined. Boy, on this series, they go with their starting unit and going down the field, and it was almost like the game was at stake here the way they handled this offense.
Well, trying to build some continuity in this offense, get some chemistry going, and you know, they move the ball down the field perfectly.
Andrew Franks. And it's 21-14. The kick is good by Franks with 2:47 to go in the first half. Tannehill has been in there all the way for the Dolphins. They want to see him move the ball and score. They did it right here.
Well, Ryan has really thrown the ball well tonight. Puts a little air into this, drops it in the bucket, and Kenny kept great concentration. That little pick route, throws it to the pylon, and Kenny goes and gets it.
Stills, who was on the receiving end of the 55-yarder, and this touchdown catch as well. 11 plays, 75 yards. And unlike the last Dolphins scoring drive, they weren't helped by penalties that the Cowboys had committed. And Tannehill looking his best so far in preseason on that drive.
And the offensive line has looked pretty good here the last 2 drives,
Yes.
Dick. I mean, they're giving him the protection where he can stand there and scan the field and find that open receiver.
Marshall Kane chasing Andrew Franks for the kicking job, and it's going to be an uphill climb the way Franks has been kicking. Is out there now. Darius Jackson back for the Cowboys. And he'll take it out at the 20. Well, the week that was sponsored by Mercedes. Monday, 2 new wide receivers coach Sean Jefferson Don pads. Yes, he did, to help inspire and instruct his receiving corps. Probably on the art of blocking, I would guess. That was Monday. Then on Wednesday, 2016 training camp officially ended a little earlier than expected. More on that in a moment with Bo. And then the next day, Dolphins second-round pick Xavier Howard was activated from the PUP list and is in attendance tonight, although he won't see action. So Howard, who's strong candidate for the other corner spot behind Byron Maxwell. First down. And on the screen pass to Morris, the running back. Morris with a head of steam brings it out to the 40-yard line. And a big gain as we send it down to Bo.
Time now for news and notes sponsored by Mercedes. And Dick, you talked about a camp ended this week, but not before Tuesday when Sean Jefferson, the wide receiver coach, came out wearing pads and a helmet. Jarvis Landry said he didn't realize what was going on. He didn't know what was happening. All of a sudden, Sean Jefferson's out there teaching these guys how to block. In fact, you saw some of the receivers block earlier in the game. Then on Wednesday, midway through practice, Adam Gase had Andrew Franks line up for a 55-yard field goal. He knocked it through the uprights, and Adam said, you know what, that's good enough. Practice is over, head on in. That ended up training camp. Good news for the guys, and one way for a kicker to get all the players in the team on his side.
All right, Bo. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. 2-minute warning after Morris gains a couple of yards. Today making the stop. So with the score 21-14 in favor of the Cowboys, 2 minutes remaining. We'll be back in the first half. Stockton along with Nat Moore and Bob Greasy in the second preseason game. Dolphins fell behind in this game as Adam Gase's team did against the Giants, trailing now 21-14. Second down and 8 at the 42 for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott in for Romo, played a couple of series. Prescott can run, as we saw, and this pass is going to be caught at the 40 by Lucky Whitehead.
Romo would have been sacked there. Prescott, with his mobility, just slides out to the left and completes the pass.
13-yard gain. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. Prescott. Oh, nearly picked off, and getting good position was Bobby McCain against Lucky Whitehead.
Also had good pressure that time by defensive end Andre Branch.
So it'll be second down and 10. Still plenty of time to get a stop. Get that offense back on the field. Minute and a half remaining in the first half. Second and 10. Prescott had time, but it's batted down at the line of scrimmage by Branch.
That's the best defense right there. I hated that. You know, when I had a receiver open and I wanted to get the ball to him, and a defensive lineman sticks his big paw up there and knocks it down. I used to get on my offensive lineman. I said, get his hands down.
And they probably said that if you would have been a little more elusive and get off out of the pocket, maybe you would see the receiver.
Yeah. And Coach Shule is yelling at me on the sideline, you know, throw it quicker, get out of the pocket, do something.
Third down and 10. I'd love to joke with you. Here comes pressure on Prescott, and the pass is caught short of the first down. Rashawn Melvin defending against Jeff Swain, and that will bring up fourth down. So We know that Adam Gase calls the plays.
Timeout.
And a timeout
Miami.
called by Miami. That's Clyde Christensen, who's the offensive coordinator, talking to Ryan Tannehill. And with Gase having to run the team and also call the plays, good to have a guy like Christensen, a veteran, been with the Colts many years.
Calming influence for Ryan Tannehill, guy that knows the offense left and right, and basically a guy that can go back and talk to Adam about what's going on with Ryan.
Yep. Good man to have.
And he's a golfer, so, I like him.
Better man to have. Better man to have. 4th down and 4. With 1:19 to go, and Dan Bailey will try a field goal from about 50 yards, maybe a little longer than that. Good kicker is Bailey. And that kick is good. And the Cowboys now lead by 10 points, 24-14. It'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins run really what in essence is a 2-minute offense here to wrap up this first half.
Well, and if you notice, Adam Gase called timeout because here's another opportunity to get some good work in the 2-minute drill.
Well, Ryan Tannehill, first we'll tell you he's been sacked more than any quarterback in the last 4 years. But then look at this. And it was Adam Gase who told Tannehill this. Most passing yards, first 4 years of his NFL career. Look at those names, and look where Tannehill is.
Well, I tell you what, he has been a tough guy that has taken a lot of punishment, never complained, just continued to work. And you see the yardage where it's paid off for him.
Yeah, last year he had over 4,200 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, and only 12 interceptions. He was sacked. What was he sacked? Like
45 times.
45 times is right.
Matter of fact, Greasy spends a lot of, Marino spends a lot of time with him. If he wasn't sacked so much, he might have surpassed old Danny Marino.
Don't tell him. Matt Weil will be kicking to Jakeem Grant. Grant's going to run it out from 5 yards. Here's Grant trying to give the Dolphins good field position for their chance, and a flag goes down. So penalty marker could be against the Dolphins. Usually is on the return team. I say that every time, and one of these times I'll be wrong.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 88, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul, first down.
Well, it's not a good way to start. Leonte Carew, the receiver, rookie from Rutgers. Okay, look at this. First 4 seasons. Look at that.
Wait a minute. Marino was only sacked 58 times.
Danny had that knack. If anybody got close to him, boy, that ball was coming out.
Yeah, but he had Dwight Stevenson and a whole bunch of other guys up front, too.
Yeah, but
that protected him very well.
His line was good, but not that good. I mean, he had that knack of getting rid of the football.
Yeah, he was the best.
No, he was. It was a great trait to have.
Matt Moore is the quarterback now. Matt, you go in when we're on our 6th.
Yeah.
With 1 minute and 8 to go, and another flag is down. Matt Moore in his 9th
False
year.
start, number 79, offense.
And a false start.
Half the distance to the goal.
Ball against Sam Young. Moore completed 10 of 14 for 122 yards last week against the Giants. Threw a touchdown pass and also threw a pick. Young, John Ulrich, Anthony Steen, Dallas Thomas, and Billy Turner are the offensive linemen. It'll be first down at 14 from the 4. 1:08 to go in the half and 2 timeouts remaining for Miami. And the pass is out to Sims. Gets knocked out of bounds after a short game.
Good safe first down call. Get the ball to the tight end out in the flat, get the clock stopped, pick up some positive yardage.
Tannehill and Ajayi enjoying their sideline time right now. Nice to end up on a high note, isn't it? When you're the starting quarterback, you're playing most of this first half. Here's Moore throwing from just outside the end zone. No receivers will run and slide for it. Ooh, watch the hit. Oh, and a foul flag goes down. He got hit in the head. And
this is what happens in training camp. I mean, these guys are trying to make the team. They want to go be physical.
James Morris.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 40, defense. Contact to the head on a sliding quarterback. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's why he slides, so he won't get hit. Feet first. And so Matt Moore shaken up. And Brandon Doughty is going to come into the game.
By rule, because the injury resulted from a foul, there is no charge timeout for Miami.
So Brandon Doughty's going to come in, and we hope Matt Moore, who's been like the perennial backup and a good man to have around. Most teams don't have backups like Moore, but there's Brandon Doughty, who made an impression, to say the least, last week against the Giants and has done it throughout camp. The 7th round pick from Western Kentucky. And by the way, all Broward County often visited practice at Davie. Take a look at Moore's injury.
Good blocking by the offensive line. There's nobody open. Matt pulls it down and starts upfield. And as he starts to slide, they don't pull up.
You see where his head hit the ground.
He's still on the ground.
Looks a little bit like Earl Morrall scrambling up, doesn't he?
Yeah, but there was also a forearm to the head by Morris.
I don't want to say anything, but the Cowboys have had a roughing the passer, unsportsmanlike conduct, and they had the penalty right there.
It happens. All this happens in training camp. I mean, they want to. These guys try to make the team. They want to be physical. They want to. You know, it just happens.
And also, the Cowboys were a team that struggled mightily last year on defense, and you know they're trying to become a little bit more aggressive, get after the quarterback, and so far they've made every mistake possible.
4-12 with the Cowboys last year after winning their first 2 games, and Moore is up and gets an applause from the good fans here. This is the preseason home opener for Dallas. And of course, you always know about those concussion procedures that could go into effect if it's a head injury.
Yeah. Well, you could see where his head hit the ground, and you know that the ground, when your head hits the ground, really flips your neck back in your head. That can cause it just as easily as banging into another guy's helmet.
Because this is not natural grass surface. This is the artificial surface, so it's a little bit harder when you hit the ground.
Yeah, it's not soft.
And he's going to go to the locker room, and they're going to take a closer look there. So Brandon Doughty, who completed 7 of 9 for 66, very impressive. Conference USA MVP the last 2 years, each of the last 2 years for Western Kentucky. Takes over, 1st and 10 on the 32. And a high snap, and Doughty steps up and gets hit. Ball is loose, and it's picked up by the Cowboys. Number 92, Cedric Thornton, former Eagle. And it was Chanel Jenkins who forced the fumble.
The young quarterback was standing in the pocket a little bit too long.
Running on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, they review all turnovers and scorings played. So not a forward pass, and it was a high snap from center to start it all.
Let's go. Here's another look at it, and they run a little twist, and he just holds on to the ball too long. Ironically, Turner gets beat. But by the same token, you've got to have that clock going in your head.
You got to be aware.
Been real good at getting the ball out in a hurry.
Anthony Steen is the center. A high snap, but
that doesn't look like his arm was coming forward.
No, it does not. It does not. So it'll be 1st and goal as they replay it, or they should review it, as I said. 1st and goal from the 6-yard line.
One of the things that Coach Forster and his staff works on a lot with this offensive line is passing off the defender and expect someone to come around so you don't get caught with that tackle game the way it happened that play.
And Dak Prescott, quarterback, and a lot of these reviews are coming from New York. They have a whole contingent
even
of people in the New York offices.
Even for preseason?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, here's Walt Anderson, and it looked like it was not a pass.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Dallas.
Cowboys with a chance to get more points with 45 seconds to go. It'll be first and goal at the 6. Darius Jackson, the rookie from Eastern Michigan, the running back. Devin Street is a wide receiver. They have 2 tight ends in the game. And the handoff to Jackson. Pushes the pile and then gets pushed back.
Here's an opportunity for the defense to get some work and basically keep them out of the end zone.
Charge timeout, Dallas, 30 seconds.
Dallas has 2 left now. 2 timeouts left. They call one here.
You know, guys, in the old days, every day or at least 2 or 3 times a week, you had goal line passing, goal line short yardage, all that stuff where you get a chance to mix it up. And even though you don't want to be on the defensive side right here, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for Vance Joseph to work on some things that they're trying to get ready for the season and see these guys in a game-type situation where they can actually physically go after it.
Matt Moore is being evaluated for concussion in the locker room. It'll be second and goal at the 4 now for Dallas. Here's Darius Jackson again, and the Dolphins are there again. Good pushback by the Dolphin defense. Chris Jones, like Chris Jones a lot, the Dolphin coaches do.
This is the second charge timeout, Dallas. 30 seconds.
Yeah, they call this sudden change. The defense wants to go out there on a sudden change where the offense turns the ball over. Yeah, the defense is really playing good defense inside the 10-yard line.
Nice job by Chris Jones of splitting the block and getting in the backfield. You know, he's played for the Patriots for a couple years and a good find for the Miami Dolphins so far.
He started for them 12 times in 2014. Good pass rusher, but showed his good run defense there. So it's third and goal at the 6 after the 2-yard loss. 30 seconds remain in the first half. 1 timeout to go for the Cowboys. Here's Dak Prescott flush from the pocket. And he's going to throw, and it's incomplete. Dolphin defense did a great job that time. And Andre Branch was in the middle putting pressure on with Spencer Pasinger defending Lucky Whitehead. 4th down.
Outstanding job by the secondary that time because there was nowhere for Prescott to go with the football. They did a nice job of getting on the goal line and then working through the receiver to make sure that no one was open.
Day and Branch and Jones the exclamation point. So now the field goal attempt by Dan Bailey, 24 yards. And Bailey's kick is good, and the Cowboys now lead the Dolphins 27-14. But you've got to give kudos to that defensive unit facing first and goal at the 6.
Yeah, I think Bob talked about it. Sudden change, and then having a defense that goes in there, holds them to a field goal, keeps them out of the end zone. You know, good series for the defense. There you see a good picture of Coach Vance Joseph, Matt Burke, the linebacker coach.
We talked about Adam Gase being the youngest coach, 38 years old, right there in the center of your screen. Reminds me of Coach Shula. And I know he's watching the game tonight, and, you know, 38 years old was an awful young guy, Coach Shula. Did a lot of good stuff in Miami for a lot of years.
Well, a lot of similarities between Coach Shula early on in his career and Adam Gase starting his career. So, you know, we should just hope that Adam gets off to a good start and can get this team turned around.
I think Adam Gase is a lot better looking, though, than Coach Shula. Don't you think so?
You must think Coach Shula is watching this broadcast the way you keep picking on him.
You know, Coach Shula right now is smiling. He's smiling right now, Bob. And I think only you could say that and get away with it, to be honest. Seconds to go. And Dolphins will take it down on the 20. We talked about, you know, Jakeem Grant didn't return many punts. Well, if he's going to make it as a return man, which looks like he will, he'll have to be a punt returner because there aren't many kick returns anymore in the NFL.
That's for sure.
Well, when you've got lightning speed and can strike from anywhere on the field, you know, they would rather have you take the ball at the 25-yard line and let's play versus kicking it to him and giving him a chance to turn upfield and make something happen.
Well, Brandon Doughty, they're going to take a knee here. There's Grant. Doughty, you'll see him in the third quarter. And you know things have got to be a little bit better than it was for his first play when he fumbled, and that's going to do it for the first half. Dolphins showed something on offense for the first time. Defense had their moments as well, but we'll have to evaluate it. At the half, the score, Cowboys 27, the Dolphins 14. Stay with CBS 4 as we send it back to Elliott and Rudabay in our CBS 4 news studios in Miami. And don't miss part of our 4 More on the Pins feature on Ryan Tannehill and his Aces Foundation. So, Nat, Bob, Kim, and I will be back with the Xfinity halftime report in the second half after this news update.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Tonight's telecast is also sponsored in part by your South Florida Volkswagen dealers. Drive safer, drive smarter, drive for less. Now at Volkswagen. By TD Bank. And by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. Celebrating 75 summers of living for by forever. By Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Tonight's telecast is also sponsored in part by Ram. Find your summer of fun with great deals at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. By Skull Island Reign of Kong, the colossal new ride for your life. Now open at Universal Orlando Resort. And by Mercedes-Benz.
And welcome back to AT&T Stadium, where at half the score, the Cowboys leading 27-14 over the Dolphins. And as promised, it's time for the Xfinity halftime report. 27-14 the score. And first, a couple of impressions from you guys.
Well, when I look at the offensive line and the way they started to come together, it made it look like they're starting to get some cohesiveness. You know, not very impressive first half, but offensively, they eventually started to get some things done. The surprise start with Laramie Tunsil and Javon Bushrod. Guys got some good work in there, trying to run the football. This is a team that wants to be balanced. You're looking at Billy Turner. Now he's getting his shot. So those guard positions are still unsettled positions, and guys are getting that work where the coaches can make the best informed decision about who the starting guards should be.
And Bob, talking about Ryan Tannehill and the offense playing more, and they sure did, because they played practically the entire first half.
You know, it's a process. It's just you have to go through it, and you know it does. Sometimes it doesn't look pretty. It didn't look pretty early on. Ryan came back, threw a couple of touchdown passes. Kenny Stills was looking good. But Ryan's 162 yards or somewhere in that area, and he, you know, he's making some plays. Last week he only got to play 2 series. This week he's got 2 touchdowns, and they scored what, 14 points in the first half.
He said it was being work in progress, and it is. You know, another new coordinator, and he's got a real good one in Adam Gase calling the plays. And here now your Xfinity halftime statistics. And only 38 yards rushing, but most of the yards passing. And the Cowboys lifted the front. Problem is the defense really had difficulty stopping the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas has scored on 5 of their 6 possessions. And most of those, well, or 4 of those, have been by Dak Prescott a rookie 4th-round pick this year.
Who looked good last week.
Well, the alarming factor is really simple. This defense is supposed to be the strength of this football team, and ironically, Dallas comes out and goes for 300 yards in the first half. That cannot happen.
8.8 yards per play by the Dallas Cowboys against the Dolphins defense. And you wanted to see the offense do something early, but the defense has to do their job. And so that's going to be a subject for the next week before the important third game.
Yeah, and I think, when I look at the defense, the issues were not what they were running and how they were trying to perform. It was the fact that they weren't trusting each other and doing their job. They were trying to overprotect for someone else and didn't stay outside. They lost containment time after time again in that first half.
All right, right now let's go down to the field to Kim Bokamper.
All right, guys, I had a chance to talk to Coach Adam Gase walking in. A lot of things he liked. Some things, obviously, he didn't like offensively. He liked the toughness they showed out there. They were able to move the ball. He certainly liked the fact that 3 of the times they're in the red zone 3 times. They're able to score touchdowns on both those times, but certainly there's things they need to fix. He liked the offensive line. He felt they gave Ryan good protection. I asked him how Ryan played. He liked the way he played. Said he made some good decisions out there. Most he liked his toughness. And then defensively, he said some good, some bad. One note, the first team offense, he wanted to pull him out towards that second quarter. They asked in, so he let them stay in for the rest of the half, or for the length that they did. So guys wanted to get out there and play to get the job done, fellas.
All right, Bo, thanks very much. Second half underway, and Griff Whalen, the return man now, downs it in the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins offense will start this third quarter. To listen to tonight's game in Spanish, be sure to enable the secondary audio programming or SAP button on your viewing device. SAP services tonight are brought to us courtesy of Duffy's Sports Grill. And Brandon Doughty, inauspicious in the one play he was in when got a high snap, was hit, lost the ball in a fumble. Cowboys took over, and fortunately for the defense, they did not score a touchdown. But he'll start from the 20. Damian Williams, who Adam Gase has really said, shown him a lot. Just want to get him the ball, and they have a chance to now. Number 26 is the setback. Played well last week as well. And the quick pass to the outside to Matt Hazel, who scored a touchdown on a deflection play last week and picks up 6.
It's a chance for Doughty, the quarterback, to continue showing Adam Gase and the rest of the coaching staff what he can do. That it's not too big for him. And last week he was impressive.
2nd and 4. So the Dolphins offensive team getting to the line quickly, which makes it tough to substitute for the defense, even though they don't run the play hurry up style.
Checking off. That's one thing you have to do.
2nd and 4. Hand off to Williams, and Williams is knocked back by Shaneil Jenkins.
One of the things the Dolphins really want to be able to do is run the football. They've got to be balanced with this quick passing attack, and they just have not been able to get much movement at the line of scrimmage so the back can find some creases to run through.
Ulrich John is the left tackle, Sam Young the right tackle, Anthony Steen the center, and Billy Turner and Dallas Thomas are the guards. Looking at 3rd and 5. Laramie Tunsil and Jermon Bushrod started the game at guard for the Dolphins, and this pass is caught at the 32-yard line, and it'll be shy of the first down. Damian Williams on the receiving end. You got to get to the sticks, they say, as a receiver, right?
Yeah, that's some of that's on the receiver. He's got to understand what they need. I mean, if the route calls for 5 yards, but you need 6, you got to take that extra yard so that you can get the first down. You've got to go deep enough so that when you catch the football, it's a first down.
Tannehill and Doughty. Dax Swanson is back deep. Matt Darr will the punt.
Wow.
Good kick. Boy, Darr is solid, isn't he? Inside the 15. And here's Swanson. Swanson breaking a couple of tackles. Still on his feet. What a run by Swanson. Dax Swanson who has been on many practice squads in the NFL, trying to get on a real squad, not a practice squad.
'100th anniversary of the NFL. It'll be here at Hard Rock Stadium. So we're excited to have this global entertainment destination. The Hard Rock brand's all about entertainment, and we couldn't be more excited about the partner that we have.
And that's Hard Rock Stadium, and it has a ring to it, doesn't it? As the name of the stadium now, 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. And Prescott going deep on 1st down, and the pass is going to be caught near the 2 by Bryce Butler. Well, that's not the kind of play we wanted to have when we bring in, as Howard Cosell would say, the president and CEO of the Miami Dolphins, Tom Garfinkel. And Tom, we're going to talk about the stadium and what a brilliant job we have seen transforming it into a true gem.
Thank you, Howard. I hope I'm not Eddie Mush after that last play.
58 yards. And we'll get to talk about the new stadium, which we'll see in our telecast September 1st in the preseason finale. Here's Prescott's pass, and it's going to be caught for the touchdown by Butler. Rashawn Melvin defending him.
And guys, when you look at that play, because, you know, one of the things that they're coached to do, Dick, is to flatten out the receiver and then look back and find the football. The mistake here is he never looks back to find the football. I mean, he's in perfect position to make a play. So it's the coaching that they're giving him that the players are not performing at.
Well, the defensive end on that side, Nat, should have jumped up in the air and tried to block the throw. He was free.
Yeah.
Dan Bailey for the extra point. And the kick is good. So Tom Garfinkel is with us, and we're going to really talk about the stadium and all the improvements. And it's really a beautiful place now. It wasn't bad before, but it's great now. And we'll talk more about it when we return. Meanwhile, the Cowboys open up a 34-14 lead over the Dolphins. We'll be right back. $50 million modernization project complete. Plenty of new amenities, state-of-the-art canopy providing shade to over 90% of the fans there. 4 brand new HD video boards will showcase incredible views of the game. And the best way for you to see it, well, be there. Go be there. Multiple seating plans are still available for tickets or to schedule a tour of the stadium. Visit Dolphins.com. We're going to have the kickoff. You can see it as we talk with Tom Garfinkel, the president and CEO of the Dolphins. And they will start at the 20-yard line. Well, what a project. And tell us a little bit about it from your standpoint, bird's eye view.
Well, you know, it's Stephen Ross's commitment really to putting in over $500 million now to renovate the stadium and make it state-of-the-art. It's going to be a world-class global entertainment destination, Dick, for obviously Dolphins football, Super Bowls, college football games, the Orange Bowl, the University of Miami Hurricanes football games, and then international soccer events. We're going to have the Brazilian national soccer team playing there several times over the next several years, as well as Real Madrid in the International Champions Cup next August.
Run the first play, and then Nat and Bob with questions for you. 1st and 10 from the 25. Damian Williams is the running back. Dowdy the quarterback. It's tipped in the air, incomplete.
Well, there were a lot of concerns when this project was first talked about that it wouldn't get done on time. And I want to know, how challenging was it? And then second question, were you ever worried?
Well, it was certainly a big challenge, but I think, again, you know, Steve Ross got in there. We had a call every day at 4:30, and this just doesn't, this project of this scale, this scope, and this time frame, I don't know that there's anybody else that could have got it done besides Steve. His expertise and his real estate company's expertise, getting in there every day at 4:30 on the call, and Steve's personal involvement is really what brought us to the finish line on this.
2nd down. Here's Williams. Changing direction, trying to turn the corner, does a good job, gets the 1st down before he is ridden out of bounds at the 43.
Okay, are you finished?
Well, we're almost. We could play football, you know, tomorrow there if we needed to. There's still some finishing touches work to be done, paneling going up on the roof, but the structure itself is up and in place. The video boards are up and in place, and we'll be ready to go on September 1st.
How about the parking outside?
The parking outside is, it's still a little bit torn up, but we're getting all that fixed up. And next off season, we'll be doing all the suites, all the suite level and club levels, as well as the parking lots and the surrounding areas.
Dominique Jones was holding, nullifying that first down run by Williams. And the naming coming at a great time. It's got a great. Tell us about that.
Well, it's exciting. Certainly, like I said, Hard Rock's an entertainment brand, and this is going to be an entertainment venue, and we're very proud of the partnership. It's going to be an 18-year partnership. We look at this as the first year, really, of the new stadium.
Dowdy's going to go down back at the 10.
And Hard Rock Stadium, an iconic name. Again, Stephen Ross, sort of a visionary builder of iconic environments. To be able to put a name on, you can see us smashing the guitars there. Jarvis Landry smashing his guitar. It was a lot of fun out there that day with Jim Allen, the CEO of Hard Rock, there with us, and Pitbull was there. He was a little late, but he showed up. And it was a lot of fun. It was one of the more fun press conferences I think I've ever been a part of.
He hit the right notes apparently before he cracked his guitar. And of course, the Super Bowl is going to be here in 2020.
The 100th anniversary of the NFL. It's going to be one of the biggest events in history, and we're excited to have it there in Miami. And the Super Bowl committee down there with Rodney Barretto and everybody did a fantastic job putting the bid together so that we could secure the Super Bowl. But again, with all these great stadiums being built today, it wouldn't be possible without Steve's commitment, putting the money in, and then getting it turned around and getting the stadium renovated.
The Hard Rock naming rights deal, how long did it take? How hard did you guys work? I mean, what went into putting this deal together?
Well, it started with your introduction and the first dinner we had, Nat, when you introduced us to Hard Rock many months ago. But yeah, these are long, these are big deals with long cycles, and it took several months to put it together. And these things are complicated, but in the end, we're very excited about the partnership. We're excited about the name of the stadium and what it means. And Hard Rock's just been fantastic partners with hotels and restaurants and music venues around the world. We couldn't be happier with the partnership.
And the video boards are huge.
The video boards are fantastic. There's 4 of them, one in each corner, and we'll be able to do a lot of different things with those to really make the game exciting. The way the stadium's been designed, it's going to be loud in there. It's been designed. We did a lot of acoustic studies to keep the crowd noise in. All new lights, all new audio visual, all new music, sound system, the whole thing.
Kick is blocked, and the Cowboys get it on the 15-yard line. Well, we're going to love the stadium when we see it, and I know that you want to probably make an exit right about here.
And don't take me to Vegas or anything, I guess, because I'm bad luck. But I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been fun.
No, it's great, and you're still going to be with us. We're not going to a break yet, so
okay.
Who knows what we'll have. We're going to show you some pictures right now of the stadium and talk about it while we see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you see it was important to us to provide shade for the fans, but still have a grass field. We've got fantastic paspalum turf there. It's going to be a state-of-the-art field surface, and the shade of 92% of the fans will be shaded now from that hot Florida sun.
And a good defensive play by Walt Aikens on the run by Darius Jackson, preventing him from getting
Tom,
more.
when will the fans be able to get their first look at it?
Well, fans are coming in now to take tours and take a look at it. We've had several different events for season ticket members and things. I think really the first game on September 1st will be the first opportunity for it to be open to everybody in the public, and we're looking forward to that event. It'll be a night game, Thursday evening event.
Second down and 1 from the 6-yard line. Prescott with the handoff to Jackson. And July 29th had to be a big day of relief for you. The final beam going in.
Yeah, it was a bit emotional. I learned that the tree on that last beam is an old Scandinavian tradition, and of the steel companies, they always put a tree on that final beam, and it's supposed to mean bless this house and all who dwell here. So we're excited about that. We can use all the blessings and good luck we can in the stadium, and it was a great day to put that final steel beam up there.
And we're really looking forward to our next telecast, which will be on Thursday, September 1st. Stop at the 1 is Jackson. It'll be second down and goal, and that time it was Spencer Pasinger, who's played another good game at linebacker.
Of course, next week we'll be in Orlando at the Citrus Bowl, and you know, there was some talk about the field, and after what happened with the Hall of Fame game, there's been a lot of work done by the NFL and the Dolphins and the folks in Orlando there to make sure the field is up to NFL standards. And it's a new turf field. It's only a couple years old, and all the testing's been done, and everybody feels real confident the field's going to be in great shape.
It's wise to go to Orlando to be sure, right, and have that first game on the 1st.
Well, we wanted to make sure. We want to make sure that the field's going to be everything it needs to be up to NFL standards, and all the testing that happened, actually some of it today, was all very positive.
Jamil Gary on the stop, so it'll be 3rd and goal. Loss of a yard on the play. Well, here's hoping you see a goal line stand before you we bid adieu.
I'll be greedy. I'm hoping for a fumble recovery and turnover for a touchdown.
All right. 3rd and goal. The ball at the 2-yard line. Prescott's pass, and he didn't make it over. Didn't make it over. Out of bounds at the 1. Pass to Andy Jones. Nat, you got a question?
Well, you know, it's tough to ask your boss a whole lot of questions, because if you ask him the wrong thing, you know, you get called in the office. But you know, when I reflect back and I think about everything you and Steve went through to try and get this done, you know, starting out where we were looking for funding, and now, you know, Steve putting up his own money. And as I remember, you were the guy that sat down with Steve and had that conversation as to why and how.
Well, yeah, there were several conversations, but again, I think the credit, you know, again, really goes to, I mean, Steve's a guy that he made a commitment. He's got a vision for it. The design, a lot of the design in the stadium that you see doesn't look like other stadiums, and I think that's a credit sort of
Dallas
to Steve and his commitment, his personal involvement, his getting into the details. And again, I mean, the most amazing part of this project to me has really been the last 8 months and what it's taken. We had over 500 workers there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week since January.
Tom, we've had some fun up here, but congratulations. It was a team effort. You did a great job following what Steve Ross's design was, and we look forward to the stadium.
Thanks
for
very
being
much,
with
Dick.
us.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Tom Garfinkel, the president and CEO. The Cowboys have challenged the play in which the receiver didn't get into the end zone. They're challenging it. We'll come back with the result of that and more football in just a moment. Jason Garrett is challenging the call that Andy Jones did not get in the end zone. Brandon Harris made a terrific defensive play. You guys be the judge. I don't think it was close.
You know, baseball does that now.
All right.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. It's 4th down.
And Brandon Harris
Dallas will be charged with their first timeout.
Quietly effective former Titan who was out all of last year with a torn ACL made sure that Jones didn't get in the end zone. So they lose the challenge and get charged a timeout. 4th and goal at the 1 now.
Nice job by this reserve defense. Most of these are 2nd and 3rd team guys that are really trying to impress the coaches with a goal line stance.
And there's into the packet, a touchdown. Darius Jackson got over. No, Dak Prescott. Prescott with the carry. Gets into the end zone finally for the touchdown.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Where? I don't see that either.
Yeah, it was a delayed call, and
the ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
Yeah, they don't have to challenge this because all scoring plays are under review.
Right.
From that angle, I don't see it. Unless his hand goes, oh yeah, look at his arm, across the plane, just barely. review, 40-14, and the review is because it's a scoring play, and you can see the ball just got hit that goal line. That's all you need to do.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It's touchdown.
It's a touchdown. Walt Anderson said ruling on the field stands, and is it a touchdown? So after a challenge, a couple of reviews, a touchdown, and it's.
But if you're Vance Joseph, you're impressed with the effort that was put forth by the defense. First and goal on the 2-yard line, and it takes them 4 to get it in, and it's a challenge. So, outstanding effort.
Dan Bailey with the extra point. They certainly didn't make it easy for the Cowboys. And the extra point giving the Cowboys a 41-14 advantage.
And guys, this could have went either way as far as whether Prescott got in or not. But it was so close that if they don't see evidence that can change the call, you go with the call on the field. Like right there, it looks like the ball is stopped. But it's covering the pylon, Robert.
Yeah, you could see from that angle that the ball was at least at the pylon or directly over it.
.6:07 remaining in the third quarter.
Ndamukong Suh got some work early. Look to see him play at least a half to maybe 3 quarters next week.
Griff Whalen will return this kick. Bobbles it. And downs it in the end zone. And of course you can't step out and then step back. Otherwise you're fair game. Well, here is tonight's game menu brought to you by Duffy's Sports Grill. Thursday, the third preseason game, which will be carried by NBC at 8 o'clock against the Falcons in Orlando. And then we'll be back with you for the final preseason game on Thursday, September 1st against the Tennessee Titans. 7 o'clock start. The season opener will be against the Seahawks in Seattle with the 12th man and all of that on September 11th.
One of the better teams in the NFL for the last 3 or 4 years.
Zach Dysert will be the new quarterback for the Dolphins. 4 teams last year: Buffalo, Chicago, Houston, and Denver. Practice squads. And Damian Williams will lose about 4 yards on first down. Kyle Wilbur, the strong side backer on the play.
You know, it looks like each and every time the quarterback, as he's coming out, gets stepped on and goes down. That's the second time we've seen that, Bob.
It's a drop step. It's a drop step by the center or the guard, and he definitely was stepped on, and he couldn't move his foot.
Laramie Tunsil is in the game right now at left guard. And here's Dysert, nothing there. He's tackled just shy of the 20-yard line. I'm going to check that offensive line for you, but Tunsil is in there. Craig Urban is the center. Tunsil is playing left guard. Billy Turner is in there as well. And Turner moves to tackle. He's at right tackle, and that's what Adam Gay said we're going to be doing once the initial foray of the half is over. We're going to move guys around to see where they're most effective. 3rd down and 15 for Dysert out of Miami of Ohio, and drills this pass incomplete, intended for Carew. 4th down and a punting situation.
Yeah, Carew was open that time, and they just didn't connect. I think Carew's got to do a better job of getting his head around locating the football, because when the quarterback's under pressure, that ball's going to come out in a hurry.
Yeah, and you know, you got to know when you're open and don't run through that area. Just kind of slow down a little bit while you're open.
Matt Darr will be kicking from his 5, and Dax Swanson looking to give the Cowboys good field position. Good high kick. gets into Cowboy territory and goes out of bounds. Well, thank you, South Florida, for making Rick, Rudabay, Elliot, Craig, and Jim the news team you can get your news from. Watch CBS 4 News at 5, 6, and 11 on the official home of your Miami Dolphins. And the new Cowboys quarterback is Jamil Showers. Tony Romo, after missing 12 games last year, played in a couple of series, came out. Dak Prescott, impressive for the second straight game for Dallas. And now Showers, number 7. Hand off to Darius Jackson from Eastern Michigan, and DeAndre Coleman in his first year at the University of California makes the play. There's Tony Romo, 36 years old in his 14th year, and the window could be starting to close a little.
Well, and that was one of the concerns when Kellen Moore went down, is Tony Romo was coming off double or twice having his collarbone broke last year, and having a guy that they can trust that can go back there if something happens. And Prescott has done nothing but show them that he's the guy.
Showers pass off the fingers of Keith Smith, incomplete. But it's a wide open race in that NFC East. We saw the Giants last week. Eli Manning didn't play. The Redskins won the division last season. The Eagles have Doug Peterson as a coach. It's really up for grabs.
Yeah, it's been one of the more competitive divisions, would you say, Bob? We were out the years.
We were at the Redskins in the opening game last year, and we beat them, and never thinking that they would go on to win that division. But they're not. None of the teams in that division last year were as good as years past.
No, not even close. And Dallas wants to get into the dance. And there's Showers' pass, incomplete. Rodney Smith. Now Louis Jean, who was picked up from the Bears, is in the game at one of the corners right now. And Hewitt has played very well. Neville Hewitt putting good pressure on. They like what Hewitt has done, and Hull is backup backers, right?
Yeah, they were both free agent rookies last year.
Zach Vigil remains out with a back injury. Matt Weil will be kicking. Jakeem Grant is back in as a punt returner. Standing at his 10.
This is the first punt of the second punt for Dallas tonight.
And here is Grant, and good special teams play by Andy Jones. Stops Grant in his tracks. Well, Dolphins go on offense, and we come back. Bo's going to talk about the race for backup running backs on this team. In Arlington, Texas, Dick Stockton along with Bob Greasy and Matt Moore. Zach Dysert, the fourth quarterback of the night. Matt Moore went in for concussion tests after he was knocked out. This is Dysert's second series, starting from the 15, and the handoff to Isaiah Peed. Well, time now for one of our position breakdowns as we bring you another edition, another flag. But first, we're going to go to our guy. Another edition of Bo's Battles, presented by Skull Island and Universal Orlando.
All right, guys, my battle tonight is at the running back position. Obviously, the big battle is for the starting running back job. Jay Ajayi is the guy that's got it right now, but Arian Foster is going to get his opportunities to see if he can unseat Ajayi in that spot. Now, after that, Isaiah Peed and Damian Williams are battling for a roster spot. Williams seems to have the upper hand. He made a good run today, although it was called back. Just done some good things. Gase likes what he's seen from Williams. He's going to get more opportunities. Meanwhile, rookie Kenyon Drake, the third-round pick, he is sidelined at home tonight, missing valuable reps that he can't afford to miss. So he needs to find a way to get back here and get into the battle, fellas.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. Crack back block, and the Dolphins are knocked back to the 8-yard line. And here's the Dysert's pass, and he completes it out to the 27-yard line. It'll be a first down. Dominique Jones, the former Bronco. Jones had 2 catches against the Giants. He also dropped one. Has been on many teams' practice squads, including the Vikings, Giants, and the Ravens, Broncos as well. Good play there.
Yeah, Bob talked about it earlier. You get in a certain area where you open, you choke it down so the quarterback can get you the ball. Nice job by Jones that time.
Gain of 22. First down at the 29 and a false start.
False start, number 67, offense, 5-yard penalty.
That's
Still
Laramie
first down.
Tunsil, who started the game at left guard, called for the false start.
And he's actually lining up now at left tackle with Billy Turner.
That's his comfortable position, right?
Yeah.
So first down and 15, back on the 24. Isaiah Peed, the running back, he gets the call here. Peed looked good last week, runs hard. He ran into good defense there by the Cowboys, picked up about 4 yards. Isaiah Fry, been with the Bucks and the Bears in the past.
Yeah, I misspoke earlier, Dick, when I was saying that Laramie Tunsil was playing guard. He's at guard, not at tackle, and Ulrich John is actually at the left tackle.
We'll mark that down.
Yeah, you know, it gets confusing up here, you know.
What the Dolphins are looking for is about 9 offensive linemen that can go into a game.
Incomplete.
And go into a regular season game and have like 8 guys, one of them will be inactive and the other 8 will be active. They need to be able to play center, guard, tackle, the backups.
Billy Turner's a versatile guy in that department, for one.
Well, one of the things that Chris Forrester preaches is cross-training those offensive linemen. If you're not a starter, then you've got to be able to play 3 different positions.
Third down and 11. Zach Dysert gets time, finds the open man, and a first down to the 41 to Jones. Second time Dysert has hit Dominique Jones for a first down pass.
And once again, Jones finds the hole and settles and gives the quarterback a target.
Good pass protection on the offensive line.
Interesting, Dysert has been with Chicago and Denver. There's a certain kind of thread there with
go figure.
Adam Gase has been with Chicago and Denver. You've been with Chicago and Denver and you look like something. He could be on the Dolphins prospective roster. Here's Peed. Good cut by Isaiah Peed. Turning it on and a first down. And more. Isaiah Peed, who has been outstanding, the coaches say, through the offseason camp and special teams. And Ulrich John, we were talking about, opened it up with a good block.
Well, one of the things you lost when Lamar Miller became a free agent and ended up in Houston is here's a good block by Tunsil, but watch the speed of Peed as he hits that gap and then he turns it on. You know, speed is something that you don't find from most backs.
43-yard play, and he gets the call again, and he picks up about 2.5 yards. Isaiah Peed began his career with the Rams.
He's been fighting injuries, but you know, right there you see the speed when this young man turns it on, and that's what the Dolphins are looking for, big plays.
This is the end of the third quarter.
That'll do at the end of the third quarter. So Ted Ballard tells us that Peed rhymes with speed, and he's right. Second round pick of the Rams came from the Steelers. It's 41-14 after 3.
S4 is sponsored in part by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Lindstrom, the air conditioning and plumbing pros that treat you like family. And by Dodge. Find your summer of performance with great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance Event.
And we begin the fourth quarter here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The Cowboys leading the Dolphins 41-14. The Dolphins threaten, though. They have a second down and 8. And the pass thrown on a screen to Hazel, who gets inside the 5. Hazel was leading receiver last year in preseason. Has a touchdown pass already.
Matt's fighting for his NFL life because receiver is one of the positions that there's a lot of competition this year. And even though he was on the practice squad, got to play a few games last year, he knows that his work's cut out for him this year.
How many do you think will end up receivers?
I think it's going to be 5 unless someone impresses the coaches so much that they've just got to keep it.
And if you don't make this team, you may make another team in the league.
That's why that 4th game is going to be important. It's really a good audition. Here's Pede, and Pede is tackled at the 5-yard line. Jeremiah McKinnon with a low play, and so it will be 4th down and another chance for the goal line offense to emerge as Adam Gase calls the play. Going to be times this season that they're going to be needing a score on a 4th down and goal from the 5.
And what you're looking for if you're Adam Gase is the ability to run the ball in. You need a yard to be able to get some movement at the line of scrimmage and get that yard, not having to throw it every time.
Incomplete, and he may not have scored anyway. Dominique Jones defending by Kayvon Frazier, the rookie. And the Cowboys will take over on downs. Early here in the 4th quarter, 41 points. Cowboys offense has always been good. It's been good throughout tonight, and Prescott leading the way. Question brought to you by Toyota, and the question was, running back Arian Foster rushed for a Texans record 6,472 yards, 2nd highest total for an undrafted player who holds the record. And after this first play from the 5-yard line, and it's a running play to Darius Jackson. Jackson brings it out nicely to the 15. It shows some of the tweets from fans. Not too many. Arian Foster, who made his debut in a Dolphin uniform earlier tonight for a handful of plays. And the trivia question, the answer, Priest Holmes. Priest Holmes, an 11-year NFL career with the Chiefs and Ravens, won the Super Bowl with Baltimore. We had a few tweets, but no one really got it. 2nd down and 1. And the handoff to Darius Jackson. He has a 1st down. You know, Priest Holmes, what a rich career he had. You know, it's rich like, you know, when someone offers you some manicotti, you know, it's a little rich, you say no chance. No, I'm not touching that one. You know when that ever happens at a restaurant when they bring that over to you. That's the kind of rich career that Priest Holmes had.
One of those, huh? Everybody heard that before.
Probably last night.
Yeah.
So 1st down. John Mays knows how to pick eateries, I'll tell you that this town.
He sure does.
1st and 10 at the 17. Jackson will lose a yard.
You know, talking about Arian Foster, you know, we've been talking about his being able to run the football and all this other stuff. He is really a good receiver. In his first 7 years in the league, he was 1 reception shy of 250 pass receptions. That's a lot of balls for a back coming out of the backfield.
4-time Pro Bowler, Bob.
Yeah. I just hope that he's recovered and he can play up to his past standards.
Well, Adam Gase said, we know what he can do. He doesn't have to play a lot. We already know what Arian Foster can accomplish, as Darius Jackson is stopped by Mike Hull. Mike Hull is looking very good, but Arian Foster gives you the veteran presence. Jay Ajayi, 2nd-year guy. Gain of 6 on the play. Third down and 6. They're going to send Jackson split wide to the right, and moving in the line. Looks like a false start against Dallas.
False start, number 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I think we've had more than 20 penalties called in this game. Huh?
Well, you know,
I know
a lot of guys are really overexcited and trying to make a play.
We had a good
Not
start.
paying attention to the cadence.
I think 8 of the first 10 plays had a penalty flag.
Yes.
And that was the first units.
Yeah.
You know, it's not normally it's the second and third group. But a lot of penalties on the first group early on.
So now 3rd down and 11 for Jameel Showers, and he flips it out to Jackson. Jackson will get the first down, and Hewitt brings him down. So Arian Foster, we asked him what he thought he brought to the dance for the Dolphins.
I've won before. I've been in playoff games. I know what it takes for a team to get together and win. And so from that perspective, in our room is all we can control as running backs. I'm going to give them all the knowledge I have of the game and all the guidance and leadership I have in order for us to operate well as a unit. It's, you know, just like the game is passed down to me, I'm going to pass it down to the younger cats and you know, hopefully they run with it.
Coaches love, you know, the fact that the guy's thoughtful, intelligent, very smart, loves science. He was talking this week about science and just the factor of science and all the things that brings into play was something that he really dotes on.
Yeah, you know, he's not a small guy. He is 6'1" and 230 pounds. So he's a big back there that can catch the football.
Oh, well, he's a 3-down back. But the thing that I like about having Arian Foster here is he knows how to be a professional. We got a very young backfield, and there's so much goes into playing this game, but it's also about how do you handle yourself both on and off the field.
They'll give it to Keith Smith, and Smith is tackled. And a nice play made by Mike Hull once again.
Now you talk about him being a 3-down back. For those who may not understand what that means, he can run the football on 1st down, he can catch it on 2nd down, and he can block for linebackers and stuff like that. So he can stay in the game. He doesn't have to come and go on a run down or a pass down.
Which keys the fact that you can run anything in your arsenal and you don't give away anything because you're bringing in a back that all he can do is run routes or etc. So
the defense knows. The defense knows. They're like, they'll know a guy's in the game. He can't catch. They're not going to throw the ball to this guy.
Smith to the 45, and Brandon Harris making the play. What about the corners now? Maxwell made his to switch sides. Maxwell made his debut tonight, and he and Alonso came over from the Philadelphia Eagles. Bobby McCain. Anyone stand out in the secondary?
You know, when I look at the secondary, I thought Caduce played fairly well, came up and filled nicely on some runs. I thought that Byron Maxwell had a nice coverage, but he didn't locate the ball with just a great catch by Dez Bryant. And you know, I think it's work in progress. I felt like, you know, the other corner, Tony Lippett, really struggled. I mean, you know, one of the things he's got to learn to do, Bob, is locate the football. He's an ex-receiver, got great hands, but he's got to find the football. I can't wait to see Xavier Howard, you know, who has now come off of PUP and is ready to practice.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, because he was Xavier Howard, the #2 draft pick by the Dolphins. I hear lots of good things, like he's a special guy. He's very talented. I hear that from the coaches, and I hear that from the players. I heard it from Maxwell last week talking about Howard. So I'm looking forward.
Here he is before the game, Bob. Just you're talking about it.
Yeah, he's from Texas. He went to school. Where'd he go?
Waco.
Yeah.
Baylor,
yeah.
Waco. He had knee surgery and raw ability to handle a long ball. Has length, which is what the coaches like about him. So Howard now could practice and play, and didn't show up for this one. I mean, he did show up, but not to play. And of course, there's always Chris Culliver, who's they're waiting for him. He has size too, the former Redskin, a veteran. Punting situation. Matt Weil kicking to Griff Whalen at the 15. Whalen. And we're going to take a break. The Dolphins will come back. Zach Dysert, the quarterback, will lead the group out there. 41-14, the Cowboys lead by Lincoln. Dolphin Nation strong here in Dallas. That was taken before the game. 1st and 10 from the 24, and here's Daniel Thomas, and Thomas close to the first down, out to the 34. Well, if you missed any of tonight's contest or just want to watch it again, catch Dolphin preseason re-airs on our sister station, WBFS My TV 33. This contest versus the Cowboys will re-air at midnight on Sunday. So, you know, in this battle for positions and what did the guy really do, and you want to see it again, you'll get a chance to do that. First down at the 34. Daniel Thomas talked about the battle for backup running backs, and he's right in the fight. And a good run there by Thomas. Second tour of duty with the Dolphins, 2nd round draft pick in 2011. Injured with the Bears at camp last year, was out the whole season. Picks up another first down.
You mentioned his second tour with the Dolphins. He was a high draft pick. Top, I think it was a 3rd or 4th round draft pick.
Second round.
Yeah. So a first down at the 39. And there he is again. And he crosses the 40-yard line. Well, what do you guys believe? And we were talking about it. Might be a little disagreement here about how many running backs you think will be on the squad when we get underway.
Well, I believe there's going to be 4. Bob said he thought 3, but I think when you've got talent, you don't really want to just let it go. You want to try and get something for it eventually. If you put these guys on the street, somebody's going to pick them up.
What about Kenyon Drake, the 3rd round pick from Alabama, who's still out with a hamstring pull?
Well, you figure, I mean, the 3rd round draft pick, you know, is going to make your team, but he's been injured. Now, I was thinking about this later on. I mean, they could put him on injured reserve. Well, I mean, that'd be a way of keeping him on the team without counting him as one of the 53.
Well, you know, when I look at Kenyon Drake and the injuries that he's fighting, he showed enough in OTAs and early in practice to show that he has that breakaway, that big play ability, and he returned kicks. So he's a special teams player as well. So I envision him being on this football team unless something drastic happens.
3rd down and 7. Zach Dysert, flush from the pocket, being chased. There's some good speed on him, and he'll go out of bounds. And it was Brandon Hepburn.
But as you talk about that stable of running backs, I mean, Isaiah Pede has really flashed well both last week and tonight. He's been looking good in practice. He was earlier in training camp. He was a little banged up, a little injured, but you know, he's healthy now, and he's showing the coaches that he want to make this football team.
What about Isaiah Pede, guys? He did pretty well tonight.
That's who we're talking about.
That's who we're talking about. I mean, when you break off a long one like that, you're saying, hey, coach, I'm over here. Look at me.
Yeah.
Great punt. And the return by Richard Mullaney. Just signed as a wide receiver.
And guys, what's so interesting, most young guys don't realize that they make this team by special teams.
We're going to talk more about special teams and a lot of things. That's the Big D, Dallas, Texas. Little A, double LAS, as Frank Lesser wrote once.
Their use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Dallas Cowboys with a 1st and 10 on the 15. Darius Jackson seeing a lot of action as a backup running back, and Dolphins are right there. Don't let him get away. Well, the king of comedy is back. Kevin James returns to CBS. Catch the new comedy Kevin Can Wait. New this fall, only on CBS, your official home of the Miami Dolphins. Winding down to 3 minutes remaining in the game.
You know, something we haven't talked about, but Matt Moore went out earlier in the ball game with a concussion. Depending on how serious that concussion is, he may be on that concussion protocol for 2, 3, or 4 weeks, and the season starts in 3 weeks. So one of these guys is going to have to be a backup to Ryan Tannehill.
You know, it's too bad. Penalty flag is down. Brandon Doughty, didn't show as well this week as he did last week, or as he has in camp. But there's a guy that you could say they're going to keep 2 or 3 quarterbacks if you want to try to get him on the practice squad and take the risk of another team picking him up. And so I think next week is a big week for Brandon Doughty.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 85, offense, late hit, half the distance to the goal. It'll be 3rd down.
I think I agree with you, Dick, from the standpoint of how well he plays next week, whether they keep him or whether they try and sneak him through. I mean, you know that he's going to get a lot of work in the 4th game. You don't expect to see Ryan Tannehill play at all. Matt Moore, depending on the concussion protocol, might not play. So those 2 young guys are going to get a lot of work. And ironically, if you're trying to sneak somebody through, you really don't want to play him a lot.
Yes, you're right. And here's the handoff to Darius Jackson. Jackson driving to the 22-yard line. You're right. You don't want to draw attention if you know that you have a guy that's a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see Matt Moore playing next week or the week after.
What's the point? We know what he can do.
Exactly. And if you have a concussion, that's going to keep you out at least a week. And so these guys are going to get plenty of opportunity to show what they can do.
So there's a bit of intrigue here in the backup quarterback position because of situations tonight.
Yes. Yes.
2-minute warning is here. We'll take a break.
This is the 2-minute warning.
So the guy who watched the Dolphins practice a lot from Davie, still in the hunt, no question about it. 2 minutes remaining. The Cowboys on their way to a win. Available for every home game this season. The 2016 home schedule includes playoff opponents like the Steelers and Patriots and all of the AFC East division rivals. Don't miss your chance to check out a new team and the newly renovated and newly named Hard Rock Stadium. To secure your seats, log on to Dolphins.com. Matt Weil will kick it away, and A.J. Cruz on the return from the 35. And Cruz will be down at the 40-yard line. And an injured Dolphin is Cruz as he comes off the field. The only scare we had was Mike Pouncey came off the field but then went back in. And of course Matt Moore with concussion got here to the stadium, and when the game began they have passed through. As you see the scene of Dallas outside, the Cowboys leading the Dolphins 41-14, 1:50 to go in the game. Dolphins will have a first down on their 40-yard line. Daniel Thomas, setback, good run, gets about 7-8 yards. Well, text Red Cross to 90999 to help people affected by disasters like the floods in Louisiana and countless other crises. Each text is a $10 gift to American Red Cross Disaster Relief. It's easy to start helping today by making a donation on your mobile phone. Nearing a minute remaining in the contest. And Thomas getting a yard. Of course, I want to ask you guys a question here as we get to the last minute. We know that Tom Brady will be suspended for 4 games and Jimmy Garoppolo will be the quarterback. How much do you really think that, and I know the Dolphins play there in week 2, how much will that affect the Patriots in your view?
Well, I think anytime you lose your leader like a Tom Brady, it affects you. But they have a head coach in Bill Belichick that will have them ready to play. I mean, all those teams that think that they're playing New England without Tom Brady and it's going to be easy, they just have lost their mind.
They just won't win by as much.
Thomas. That should do it. But they'll win. You know, no one thinks otherwise.
I think they'll win at least 2, and they'll probably win 3 out of 4.
Well, as long as one of those is a loss to Miami, I'm okay with it.
Well, that's what I'm leaving the door open for.
Well, the Dolphins will drop to 1-1, and the Cowboys will go up to 1-1. And next week, game Thursday against the Atlanta Falcons. So Adam Gase will have to chew on what he saw in this game. Anytime you give up 41 points, you got to look at a little bit on the defensive play, and you want to work on the offense as Gase and Jason Garrett meet at midfield. That is the end of this game, and the Dallas Cowboys defeat the Miami Dolphins 41-14. We'll be back with more here at AT&T Stadium in just a moment.